you are on the rant chair, which is where for $5 I will rant about a topic of your choice. Click the link in the description to request a rant. This one comes from Epsilon Eagle, rant about the next generation of consoles potentially being all digital. I want to say this is probably prompted by the PS5 Pro being an all digital console. Now, I have a little theory cooking here. It is strange that Sony designed the PS5 Slim, so both the disk drive, but also even the faceplate attachments, to be forward compatible. I know the PS5 Pro is a sensitive subject, but it's kind of genius that they just design it in a way where it's literally the same console, just taller. So all the same shit, the disk drive, the faceplates, they still work. Why would they do that? It's in Sony's best interest to keep you locked into the digital ecosystem. So allowing you to then buy physical games again, they're making less money off of that, right? Long term. I want to think they probably saw that the sales on the digital SKU were just too soft, right? People felt, I guess, put yourself in the shoes of someone who wants to buy either of the two systems. On the off chance, even if you're mostly a digital customer, right? On the off chance that you might at some point want want the ability to use physical discs, locking yourself out of that just to save $100 doesn't seem worth it, right? Whereas with the PS5 Slim, I think there's a very high chance that okay, you're much less inhibited to hop on that, um, because you can upgrade later, right? Now with the Xbox, it's commonly believed that the S is selling better than the X. We don't know if that's actually true because Microsoft don't publish numbers for their sales, console sales. It's also not a one-to-one comparison between Xbox and PlayStation 5. Obviously, the S has much steeper discounts usually. There's also the power difference, but then there's also the fact that Game Pass is very strong. PlayStation Plus Extra actually looks pretty decent from what I saw in terms of the selection. It feels like they're kind of catching up, but in terms of the narrative, it doesn't feel like people really understand that that's there, right? I think the PlayStation selection, there was what was it called previously? PS Now, whatever. You could download games for a while. You had a very Game Pass like infrastructure there for a while. And somehow Sony just didn't do a good job telling people that it exists. So somehow we still associate Microsoft with like doing the Netflix of gaming thing. And it's still a pretty big point in their favor, even though I think the actual service is not that different or not that much better. Mm, so it's really hard to come to real conclusions from that. Again, based off my theory, I would assume that the PlayStation 5 Pro is not really a strong indicator of the future. I want to think that Sony are gonna be pretty reticent to make a digital only PS6. I don't see that coming personally. Again, they went out of their way to make the PS5 Slim forward compatible. Now I do think the whole online thing, right, with the detachable disk drive, that's the fact that you have to authenticate it the first time you connect it. That's sucky, but it's also something that Sony couldn't do anything about, from what I understand. It's like sort of a Blu-ray committee mandate. Mm, yeah, Nintendo, no chance that they were moving away from physical. I think because of their family-friendly image, it's so important for them to have that. It's I think for so many households, there's a very strong incentive. Okay, we don't want our credit card information on this console. We want to just be able to buy games for our kids from the store. I hmm. I should have. I think the statistics I sort of regularly see do say, okay, digital physical sales are almost 50-50, But then 50% of sales, that's still a lot, right? And that's free marketing, basically, right? To just have your game in a store be visible like that. Obviously, there's all the obvious reasons that that people always say, always cite, that are still true. You need good relationships with retailers. You don't because you need them to sell your fucking console. I guess one last wrinkle I want to throw into this is again Microsoft. I I was going to say I'm glad that I waited on this video a little bit. I was going to say that yeah, I'm not even sure that their next system will be a traditional form factor. I think they will probably move in a very PC-like direction, and then I could see them going all digital. But then there was a recent rumor, I think, from Tom Warren, who said that yeah, they are still planning a traditional console. So I don't know. I think if that's the case, they might still stick to physical, just to avoid the bad PR. And again, I think Sony they also realize yeah, digital only bad PR. Don't do it. That's it.